Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the MNB Wrestling Report Week in Review for March 20th, 2011. Pretty neat week in the wrestling world this week. We came off of Raw here in St. Louis, Missouri, which I was actually able to attend. Crowd was pretty hot for the show. Everybody seemed to really have a good time. A couple big moments out of Raw, most notably Rock cut another great promo on John Cena. Let's be perfectly honest, Rock has won the war between these two. It's all The Rock at this point, and Cena is just desperately trying to catch up. And I don't think he's going to be perfectly honest at this point. Had a couple decent matches on Raw, nothing really to write home about. We had Miz face Great Khali at the start, which, that went over well with the crowd. People like Khali now because, he's not competing for the world title at least, but it really makes, Miz a credible champion to, be dominated by a guy who's not even in the world title picture. And then to top it off, he only takes it over when Alex Riley comes back in with a chair, smacks Khali with it, and then Miz literally breaks the chair over Khali. So, not much there. The match of the night was easily the Sheamus Daniel Bryan match for the United States title. They got about 10 minutes. They put on what I thought was a solid match. I'm still hearing a lot that these two are going to face each other at WrestleMania, so that'll probably be your title rematch right there. Should be really good. I'm looking forward to that. But Sheamus is your new United States champion off of a nasty-looking brogue kick when Bryan came off the top ropes. Sorry to see Bryan lose the belt, but the thing that surprised me the most was how little reaction he got from the crowd. He did not get much in the way of a pop at all, which surprised the hell out of me. Bryan has lost so much momentum since he debuted, mainly just because they're not using the guy. You got, probably the best, if not one of the best, at least one of the best technical wrestlers on your roster. And you're not even utilizing him. It's a crying shame, and I really hope they start using him more. Michael Cole was in a box, which he called his coal mine. I was at Raw, so I didn't get to hear a whole lot of the commentary, but there was what I thought was a good segment with Cole building his match with Lawler. He called out Lawler's son to talk about why he's ashamed to be Lawler's son. JR came out to try to put Cole in his place. Swagger took out Lawler and then took out Cole and took out JR and put JR in the ankle lock, and then Cole put him in the ankle lock. And, it wasn't a bad segment. Jerry Lawler was off the show from the rest of that point on. Finish did a good job of making Miz look pretty strong. We were having Cena versus Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio lost by DQ when Brodus Clay came in for some interference. Miz came out with a bald wig into The Rock's music, copying The Rock's walk, hit the rock bottom on Cena, and then revealed who he really was, proceeded to beat the living tar out of Cena in a nasty fashion. I really like the way they're booking this whole thing. With Miz kind of being the overlooked champion and trying to make everybody realize that he is a strong champion. It's going to be interesting to see if they can continue to play this one out. So overall, not a bad Raw. We did have an awesome dark match, which it's not really fair for me to talk about, but we saw Triple H versus Randy Orton versus Sheamus and... Why am I drawing a blank all of a sudden? Versus Sheamus and CM Punk for the dark main event, and that was a hell of a 10-minute match. Triple H looks like he's in fine shape, so I'm not worried about him on his match with Taker. We had a really strong SmackDown this week. I thought one of the best SmackDowns they've had in a long time. A lot of good matches. Kofi versus Sheamus was a really good match. Just everything about the show I really enjoyed. The core beatdown of Kane and Big Show really made a statement in my book, especially when Wade Barrett hit Wasteland on Big Show. I couldn't believe that one. I couldn't believe he got him up, let alone made the slam down. So that was a big one there. You had some more promotion for Cole's match with Lawler. Cody Rhodes is living up his new gimmick out amazingly well. The new dark, he had some new music this week. Really enjoyed Cody this week. Mysterio put on a good match with DiBiase. Who, surprise, we got to see DiBiase on TV. That doesn't happen anymore. So yeah, and then we also had a cage match between Christian and Alberto Del Rio as the main event, which Christian won. But let me go ahead. I talked about this in my SmackDown review, but I've got one major gripe when it comes to cage matches, and it's something we see a lot. And that is people not going to get out of the cage every possible opportunity. To me, the good cage match, there's always that chance of, you hit a big move, you go for the door, you go to get over the cage. You don't see that happen a lot. You see a lot of people, they hit a big move and then they wait for the other guy to get up so they can hit another big move. It's kind of like, Jesus Christ, go for the door. At best, they have to expend energy to get themselves up to stop you from escaping the cage. I realize it's a pacing, trying to make the match last so long, but it's more believable if they're trying to escape the cage as often as they can. So yeah, amazing SmackDown. Christian Del Rio still came out strong after the match, even after losing the match. He still took out Christian. He proceeded to take out Edge. So they had a really strong match. Other wrestling news this week of import, it has been announced that Superstars on WGN America is being canceled, effective, I think it was middle of April. Kind of disappointed to see it go. It was a chance for some of the lower card guys to come out and get some match time and improve and hopefully, get the chance to move up to feuds in the main cards. So it's a bummer for them. I mean, I'd like to see them televise FCW, to be honest, but I don't see that happening. Other than that, apparently I haven't actually watched it because I don't usually watch TNA, but it sounded like we had a pretty piss poor Impact this week. I don't know a whole lot of details about it. It sounded to me that it was all things were kind of thrown in a loop because of the loss of Hardy, which quite honestly I don't think anybody should have been surprised about. But we'll just leave it at that. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the weekend review here. Once again, this is Mackenzie of the MNB Wrestling Report at www.mnbwrestling.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Mackenzie99. That's at MKNZY99. Y'all have a good evening, and I'll see you next week.